I recently stumbled upon a creepy situation involving Instagram accounts that are pretending to be kids. It all started when a Reddit user, numerouscut792, posted about their unsettling experience on April 15, 2024. The post featured screenshots of 3 bizarre-looking Instagram pages they encountered that day, and the OP expressed serious concern that something truly disturbing was going on with these accounts. And they weren't alone. Other users in the subreddit were equally freaked out. One commenter mentioned, "I found all of them and blocked them all. Truth sticks is seriously creepy to me." Others echoed the sentiment, saying they've tried to dig deeper but could hardly find any information, calling these accounts very weird to say the least. The strange part? 3 accounts appeared to belong to 3 different children. However, as people combed through their posts, it became clear that something far more bizarre and unsettling was happening. Reddit posts would be the spark that ignited an internet-wide investigation. The story quickly spread across the online world, becoming one of the most notorious internet mysteries in recent memory. What started as a few odd Instagram accounts soon revealed a never-ending rabbit hole, leading to an ongoing investigation into one of the most depraved and disturbing oddities found on Instagram. This is the emerging story of smartschoolboy9. The first account mentioned in the Reddit post is called TruthSticks11, supposedly run by a 12-year-old boy and his mother. The duo made their very first post in October 2021. They started on somewhat an alarming note, not about their own page but targeting another account on the platform.
So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
According to the mother, this other account was run by a man pretending to be a boy. He created and shared a video to warn others about this specific user, who was posing as a child online but was actually a grown man using this deception to get close to and exploit other children on the platform. This situation highlights the grim reality of the online world, where predators will go to any lengths to target children. It's a danger that often goes unnoticed or is ignored by parents. In the early days of the TruthSticks account, calling out this predator and his multiple fake profiles became the central focus. The supposed mother went into great detail about the man's actions, even claiming he had a strange fixation on dressing up as a young schoolboy. The account frequently revisited this theme of exposing online predators over the years. However, after some time, they began using the page for its original purpose, sharing photos of her son. The photos initially seemed normal, showing the boy studying at school, receiving awards, and participating in presentations. The captions often praised how intelligent he was, but over time the images began to look off, almost as if they were AI generated. They became heavily edited in strange ways, with deep red lipstick frequently added to the boy's face. His face began to turn a ghostly white, marking the start of a disturbing trend. With each new post, the photos became less authentic, gradually morphing into something surreal and unsettling. Soon they weren't just odd, they were downright disturbing. These bizarre edits weren't confined to images alone. The posts themselves transformed into disjointed collages, combining grotesque visuals with rambling paragraphs about how much this user supposedly loves school. But the weirdness didn't stop there. At some point, the account began sharing content that was allegedly from their son, saying things like, "My really cool mom asked me if I'd like to post, and I said yes please." He even shared videos he claimed to have filmed himself, but just like the photos, these clips were unsettling, with a voice that seemed off. As if that wasn't alarming enough, the account began posting images that resembled CP, fake AI-generated children in explicit positions, sometimes with their faces photoshopped onto adult bodies. One thing was clear, the child behind this account was not real. Even the more convincing early photos had signs of being AI-generated. It seemed likely that whoever was running this page wasn't an innocent parent, but a predatory individual. And this wasn't their only account. Another page run by a user named GirlChloe12, which had striking similarities to TruthSticks11. Like the first, it was supposedly managed by a child and monitored by a parent. Oddly enough, it also featured frequent posts about the dangers of online predators, with wording and editing nearly identical to TruthSticks11, though slightly less extreme. These two accounts frequently interacted, further linking them, but the most compelling connection was easy to overlook: a shared blatant obsession with high-heeled mini boots in these two accounts, with these shoes being mentioned or shown in almost every post made by the users. At times, they even talk about running around during playtime in their cool-heeled footwear, paired with a school uniform. For instance, after coming home from school, they describe how their day isn't over once they hang up their blue blazer, gray jersey, neat tie, white shirt, tailored clothes-fit gray trousers, and black-heeled mini boots. No matter what the topic of conversation, school uniforms and mini boots always seem to come up, confirming what is becoming increasingly apparent: this is fetish content. It's not unlike the bizarre accounts uncovered in the Pipergate rabbit hole, where fetish content centered around children. children. What makes the Chloe account so disturbing is that it seemingly doesn't use AI-generated images. Rather, it appears to feature actual children. Despite this unsettling distinction, the two accounts share significant similarities, and all signs point to them being created by the same person. This person, while constantly warning of the dangers of adults pretending to be children online, seems to be engaging in that exact behavior as some part of fetish, something we'll explore further later. One thing is clear, these pages are not run by children or their parents, so who's behind them? What brings us to the third and final account mentioned in the initial post, Smart Schoolboy. Like the other two, this account warns of online predators, obsesses over high-heeled mini boots and school uniforms, and pretends to be a child despite the obvious evidence to the contrary. However, Smart Schoolboy differs in one key aspect. The person behind the account doesn't hide behind AI or stolen images of kids. Instead, they use photos of themselves. In these images, we see what appears to be a fully grown man dressed in a schoolboy uniform with his face painted white and bright red lipstick and of course high-heeled mini boots. These characteristics were common across the other accounts but were now being applied to himself as he posed as a child. He pretended to go to school and experience life events typical for preteens. Yet the photos are not even the most disturbing aspect, it's the videos that make up the majority of the account's content that truly unsettle. The videos are incredibly disturbing. Some clips show him arriving home from school, while others capture him claiming to be on the bus heading to school. There's also a video of him making strange noises and sticking out his tongue in an unsettling act that seems to be part of his fetish, much like his content found on other similar accounts. His content is overtly sexual in a bizarre way. In one video, he's fully dressed, staring into a mirror, appearing to pleasure himself just out of the camera's view while maintaining eye contact with his reflection. This account is by far the most disturbing aspect of this entire rabbit hole and also the most critical. Scattered across his page are a few clips revealing his voice, which coincidentally matches the voice heard in the very first clip shown in the Truce's account. This means that a full-grown man is behind this entire disturbing scenario, pretending to be a child and their mother deriving some sick satisfaction from it. What's worse is that these activities aren't confined to private spaces. These are numerous instances of him walking around in public fully dressed in his outfit and wearing face paint. It's one of the strangest things I've ever seen, and making sense of it all is incredibly challenging. However, based on the information found in the initial Reddit post, a few likely conclusions can be drawn. This man is clearly attracted to the idea of being a child, and the OP was probably right in speculating that this is some form of age play, but it's also more than that. Given the images he's created, he seems to have an attraction to other children as well. He's essentially created what amounts to CP, so disturbing that I can't even describe it here. Either he's producing fetish content using the likeness of children, including real ones, or he's pretending to be a kid to exploit other children online. At this point, this is still speculation, as much as smartschoolboy9 case remains a mystery and the rabbit hole only gets deeper from here. Months after the surface online, the story began to spread across the internet, notably on the r/smartschoolboy9 Reddit, where the case gained significant attention. Internet sleuths uncovered just how extensive this web account really is. It's not just these 3 pages, there seem to be over a dozen and likely even more that haven't been found. He's created his own little community, a world where he pretends to be a child across multiple accounts, with these pages often following and interacting with each other to make the characters appear as though they have real friends. On one of these pages, 12 Stockwell Joan, he poses as a 14-year-old girl using AI-generated images to depict explicit positions of this fictional child, images that I obviously won't show here. Much like his Chloe account, this one also features images of very real young girls. But the most disturbing aspect of this account is its repeated display of images featuring children at a playground, photos he may have taken himself. This fixation on being a schoolgirl and participating in school-related activities is a recurring theme across many of his accounts. The alias Stephanie is his most common, with several accounts under this name where he often says, "Yeah, I'm Stephanie." This Stephanie character is presented as a 12-year-old aspiring poet with multiple online profiles showcasing her work. The poems often carry unsettling sexual undertones. I race to complete my poems when I've got an early start, heart racing, mixed rhythms, maximizing miracles, rhymes with rap, and on the map. My Kennington, London syllable dancing, though I know my underwear might show, I leaned forward. Good Stephanie Stansfield 12. Upon further investigation, her poetry has even been featured in various articles and newspapers, indicating that this disturbing act extends beyond the internet. This has clearly become an obsession for him, dating back as far as 2018. The Stephanie persona is his go-to alias, one he fully embodies, even dressing up as her, wearing a wig and a dress as he pretends to be a 12-year-old girl. As soon as this case began to popularity gained traction, the true depth of this disturbing situation became apparent. Across every account linked to it, there are countless depraved posts and bizarre behaviors that all warrant discussion. However, the most significant revelations weren't found on the suspect's own page, but rather on the pages of other actual children. For example, in one comment, smartschoolboy9 strikes up a conversation with a child saying, "Do you like school? I do. It's a good. You have some cool shirts, but I have to wear school uniforms. It's nice, but casual clothes aren't allowed. And it's quite hot here in the UK now that June has gotten warmer." These are just two examples out of many where he attempts to befriend young children online. In another comment, he warns a child about predatory comments from others, advising them to stay safe and not be discouraged by creeps, suggesting this is common for boys in their age group. This interaction is our clearest evidence that these accounts weren't created merely for age play, rather he's posing as a child to connect with other children. Given his overtly sexual interest and aversion to CP, it's not hard to see why he's doing this, and these examples are just the beginning. There could be dozens or even hundreds more comments out there on various children's accounts that we haven't covered yet. This behavior is predatory, plain and simple. The man behind smartschoolboy9 persona is a predator. If there was any doubt that this was a sexually motivated act, here's what he had to say about pretending to be a 13-year-old girl. The most alarming part is that no one knows he's actually succeeded in attempts or what he's actually seeking. We only know that he's trying to reach kids, as evidenced not by just his comments, but by the fact that he exclusively follows children on these accounts. While it's easy for adults to see that something is wrong with these accounts, for children it's not so obvious, especially when they're seeing photos of real kids. There's another concerning aspect. Many of the images he uses haven't been traced back to their original creators, and some appear for the first time publicly on his pages. This suggests he might have received them privately. One image he posted even shows a child he claimed to be on a playdate with. Though it's possible to verify this, given his attempts to contact with children, post fetish content centered around them, and potentially photograph kids in public, one thing is certain: smartschoolboy9 needs to be stopped. Finding and reporting this man to law enforcement quickly became the top priority for those investigating the case. Unfortunately, he left behind several clues that made this process easier. On multiple occasions, he posted images and videos of specific locations, even mentioning streets and areas in his poems, all of which point to the London area, giving us a clearer idea of his location. Additionally, while he often used the alias Stephanie, there was another name that appeared frequently across his accounts: David. Despite not picturing him, smartschoolboy9 referred to David as a stepbrother, father, or friend from school. After connecting some dots, it was revealed that this David was actually David Alter, a 59-year-old man. At the moment, there are no known criminal convictions or a documented history of this behavior for David, but thanks to the investigations on Reddit and Discord, we know he is currently under investigation. While we don't know much more about David, while we do know he writes poetry, makes music, and his name appears in a newspaper discussing the importance of kids wearing school uniforms. However, there's a crucial aspect that hasn't been discussed yet: David's mental state. Some believe David may be mentally unwell and possibly unaware of his full extent of his actions. Even if this is true, his behavior must be stopped and he needs proper help to ensure no one else is harmed. It's also important to note that David appears more intelligent than he lets on, as his personal accounts show him to be well-spoken. David is highly manipulative, as seen in his responses and other clues scattered across his accounts, indicating that he knows exactly what he's doing and that it's wrong. Since his accounts were exposed, David hasn't disappeared quietly like most predators would. Instead, he has responded multiple times, lashing out at those who message him, calling them the perverts and predators. This projection is something David has done consistently starting from the very beginning of this rabbit hole. He continued posting predator exposés and warnings about predators on every account he made, each one eerily specific to its own predatory ways and fetishes. There are two likely reasons for this. First, he gives the appearance that he's not just another internet creep because he's actively calling them out. It's a tactic to build trust with children so he can exploit them. Second, it's possible this is his twisted way of self-reporting to make himself feel better about what he's doing. What's even more disturbing is this is within these exposé posts, David mentions not just the exploitation of children, but also a clear interest in cannibalizing and performing ritualistic sacrifices on them. Given how accurate his other projections are, there's little reason to doubt that this may be another dark aspect of his twisted site. Some of the content he's posted, which I can't show here, includes photos of children edited into contorted positions with what appears to be ropes added to give the illusion they're tied up. Disturbingly, he also posted numerous photos in the vicinity of schools, on secluded trails, and even discussed school start and end times, saying he likes to be awake and ready for it. There are also photos showcasing children from a distance, almost as if he was stalking them. This is incredibly concerning. Even if we don't know the full extent of his perversions, he is still far too close to children. As known by a photo of him on a school playground during the day with his disturbing desires. I don't even want to imagine what he's capable of. This brings us to the final piece of content that needs to be addressed. In a short video posted on one of David's accounts, the text on the screen reads, "Chasing another boy running in heeled mini boots." In the video, David is shown with a full face of white makeup and red lipstick chasing a young boy while giggling. If this video was edited or is a real occurrence, we currently don't know, but the sheer weirdness of it, the uncanny look of David looking like that makes it even more disturbing and horrifying. David's actions are a mystery that will take time to fully unpack. I really hope law enforcement will be able to follow through and shed more light on this individual, ultimately putting an end to his revolting behavior. But for now, one thing is certain, the story of smartschoolboy9 isn't over yet. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you watched this far, go ahead and like or dislike at the bottom, subscribe if you want. Until next time, boos.